Fuck was the shit still say long for me?
Huh?
For some reason when it posts, it doesn't post with the thing. Something's wrong with it. For some reason when I go here, it doesn't tell me what it
I guess I'm
I ain't never been the type of nigga you in the street like a fool. Hey, your ass in the crosshair while you steady thinking that it cool. You wanna free my neck in a green Rolex and the whole shit flood with diamonds. Prancing back on them both at once, got caught at perfect time. Tell me a nigga who say he help, I show you a goddamn life. There's no one past me, no water, I'm walking through that fire. You sweaty on your side, but damn it, just in case. Swallow my name in it, I think got a different taste. Still running around the city doing what it takes. And I still don't give two fucks, I'm just trying to get some pleasure. On my neck, it's all I ever wanted. I'm on it. My respect, it's all I ever wanted. I'm on it.
Lit life, lit life, lit life. Hey, 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 what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Lit life is what's happening on a Sunday night.
Another dope Sunday night, another close to another weekend.
Yeah.
And we right back through it, man. How was you? No, I don't care how mine was. How was yours? Let's go ladies first tonight.
Mine was awesome. A lot of projects coming down the line, so I'm like super excited. Went to a comedy show also. Shout out to comedian Shauna Trumbo. She did an amazing job last night. Hey to Shauna. So that was dope. But yeah, I had a great weekend. And you, sir?
So yeah, I had a great weekend. I had a great week too. We just been doing a lot of building.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of dope stuff on the way. You know, I mean, should we talk about it now or should we get into it later?
Sure.
Well, shit, for everybody who's on here, man, look it. We about to have our first Drop It or Stop It showcase. We just locked in the venue. We have it all the way set in stone for May the 3rd. If you are or you will be in the Atlanta area or you can make it to the Atlanta area, you should come rock with us because you know we gonna rock with you. The Drop It or Stop It showcase is on the way. May the 3rd.
Exactly. So if people think we're like dope and lit and all that on a regular Monday for Drop It or Stop It, wait until they're like live with us.
On Fridays, because that's what it's gonna be.
It's gonna be crazy.
Good Fridays. Hell yeah. So,
exactly.
man.
We'll have judges.
Oh, we'll have judges. Absolutely. We have a personally built stage that's gonna be built specifically to the specs that we want and stuff that we want behind it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We'll obviously be doing interviews all night. You know what I'm saying? We'll be going live all night. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a very fun time. It's gonna be a party. It's also gonna be Mickey's birthday celebration. For those of us who don't know, Mickey's actually turning 22 on the second.
On the second.
On the second, right? And so, we're gonna, since that's a Thursday, you know what I'm saying? She don't want to get too thirsty on that Thursday. We're gonna do it on a Friday and make sure we get wet. You feel me? So that's how we do it.
That's gonna be dope. And it's an awesome chance to network. Like all the people that you've been talking to back and forth on Drop It or Stop It, you can meet them now in person and mingle. So
absolutely, the people. Yeah,
I don't know if the people from like Sweden and Russia are coming, but
hey, that'd be dope.
With some of them.
Look, everybody who's in the United States and outside of the United States, if you can make it here, bro, make it. Come through.
Yeah, for real.
Come through. Oh no, Mickey's birthday isn't yet. It's coming on the 2nd of May, so it's on the way. It's not yet.
Yeah. Did somebody say happy birthday?
Yeah, they say happy late birthday.
Oh, thank you. This will actually be crazy for me because I never celebrate my birthday. I don't like birthdays. So This will be
The first time?
literally.
What? It'll be
Yeah.
okay. That'd be something that'd be
So-
quite significant because I like to do first with people because that means that
Yeah.
it makes it hard for them to forget you. Whenever you do a first with somebody, it's like super hard for them to forget you after that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, absolutely. So, drop it or stop it showcase May the 3rd. If you are, and like I said, if you're gonna be here, man, let's set up a way that you can get here. You feel me?
Yeah.
I see you in Russia. I see you in Dominicana. You know what I'm saying? Dominica. You know, like let's figure it out, man. You got your passport. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, man? We gonna make it happen for you. So, get your passport together. Let's make this shit shake. But yeah, man. So the world right now is kind of going a little nuts.
It's jacked. Throw it away, start over.
Yeah, let's throw it away. Let's start it over, and let's just say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, it's one of those things where every time I think about like the presidency and stuff like that,
Mhm.
I start to like have questions about who you think the next one's gonna be. See, the reason why I say that is because America has like this cause and reaction of every type of way that we do things.
Mm-hmm.
A reaction and a cause and a reaction. So like basically something happened with 9/11, we went over there and blew shit up. Period. There was nobody felt any type of way about it. Nobody said no. They would like go blow shit up.
Right.
We went over there and blew shit up. Period. So it's cause and reaction.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's like the last time we had a black president.
Mm-hmm.
Then the very next president is like basically openly racist, even though he may not actually be openly racist, but he kind of is.
The cause and reaction. Yeah, great point.
So the next president, I actually have a prediction that we may. It's gonna come real close in the running for it to be another female president again.
That's what
And
I
I think, but the one thing I do think is if it is a female president, it's most likely not gonna be a minority.
Yeah, I think that would be too much for America too. I mean, I'd be in favor of it, but I think it's just too much for America.
Yeah, so like, I appreciate him. We rocks with every single one of the people who are out there, building their supporters and stuff like that. But this is one thing that happened to Bernie Sanders 2 years ago. If you remember, there was too much support for other people, not enough support for the ones who really needed them votes.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is you go ahead and you take away from, what I guess you take away from the agenda. You take away from what it is that you guys are trying to do.
Right.
You take away from that actual person who may have been the right leader, the right front runner to go, and then you go and put the eggs behind the other basket, and then you find out that she been using her personal email for freaking.
I know, right? Well, I think Trump was too, but he just doesn't want to say nothing.
Right. I mean, but and the thing is, it's like, dude.
He was out having drinks with Russia.
Right. One thing I did hear Biden say, Joe Biden,
Yeah, Joe.
was the fact that he talking about how he may run, but he may not run, and what he says is that he's basically gonna see if there's anybody strong enough to actually be able to beat Trump. If there isn't, then he'll run. If there is, then he'll stay out of the race, which is the most respectable thing I could say that any Democrat has said so far in this race. Instead of saying, "Oh, I'm going to jump in the race," just say, "Hey, let me find out if anybody can beat this dude first." Then once we can, you know what I'm saying? Then we can see. Because basically right now what he's saying is that there may be some potential in the ring already. Bernie Sanders. There's a few people who right now who have enough of the grassroots. But see, the thing is, and this is what will happen. The same thing will happen to him that happened last time. People who are mainly his fan base and mainly his, followers, they'll go to other people who may be able to, further the agenda faster. And it's crazy because people were saying that he's all old and stuff like that and blah blah blah. And him and Trump
Biden?
are like Bernie Sanders.
Oh yeah, Bernie Sanders.
Him and Trump are the same.
Trump's
age.
Trump's
They're
like
the same.
70, 80.
Yeah, they're like the same age, but Trump just keeps a toupee on. And you never know how. You know what I'm saying?
And he's a big tweeter.
And he's a big tweeter.
I don't know if there's a lot of 80-year-olds that are big tweeters.
Right. I don't. That's actually, it's crazy because he uses Twitter more than some of the millennials or Generation X.
Exactly. As some of my My son's mom calls Snapchat Snapper, so I wonder if he's on Snapper.
I got it.
Oh my gosh.
Look at, let me give a quick shout out to everybody who's on here real quick. Kilo Beats, I see you. Clipper Cannon, Young D3, what's happening? Mo Money, Angel Drew, you know what I'm saying? JPM Nova, what's happening? Everybody, you already know what time it is. Y'all are on here, and if you're on the YouTube, on the Instagram, make sure you go to the YouTube so I can actually see you and make some comments and stuff so I know you up on there. And yeah, if you're on here at the end of the show, tomorrow is a guarantee, so I'm gonna rock with you. But what was you gonna say? I'm sorry to catch you.
No, I was just asking before we go on a quick music break. We'll get back with some more politics, but so I know this is a stupid question. I just don't know a lot about politics. But so there's Democrat and Republican, but isn't there like a independent or something like that? Has anybody from that party ever won?
No.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Like how you were talking about cause and reaction. What if somebody from the independent genre wins?
And you know what? I think that's what they were saying about Bernie. There's a few people who actually may run as independents as opposed to running as Democrats this time, because then they don't have that problem where, you know, a large portion of the supporters go to another place because you know, there's another candidate that's, you know, can potentially, because there's so many candidates that are in that blue column. In that blue column, you know, so the thing is, it's like, hey, maybe I need to go to the white column. That's what it is, you know, so sometimes it's like that, but he actually already was an independent. And the thing is, I don't know if it, like, what do you consider Trump? Is he liberal?
Crazy?
Is he conservative?
Crazy.
He's like a liberal conservative.
Yeah.
So who's going to be next is probably going to be a conservative liberal.
Do you think that there will be a revolt if he wins again? Like, do you think people will get that upset about it? Because, I mean, people were really upset last time he won, but it didn't get to the point of, like, revolt and riots. Well, there were some riots. There were riots.
It was definitely revolt, but it wasn't, like, all out. Like how they're doing, like, the President Maduro over there in Venezuela. You know? Yeah, it's not all out, like, riots in the streets and people trying to kill each other, but it's getting bad.
I mean, do you think that something, like, if he won again, do you think it would just be...
I think if he won again, people wouldn't riot. There'll still be protests and stuff like that, but I don't think that he'd be, a type of person, I don't think he'd cause, because people have already, so it's like, you know, when they first rioted, it was mainly because they thought they knew what they were getting into, and then, you know, but see, now you actually know what you're getting into. If you do another 4 more years, you already know what time it is. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't think anybody will riot, but I do think people will go, you know, ham and stuff like that. I don't think people are gonna like just take it. But just like you know, it's just one of those things, you know.
I do think, you know, because like last time he won, people were like, "I'm moving out of the United States." No, you're not. Like, no, you're not. But now, I feel like people have had 4 years to really think about this shit and actually, what would it take?
I have a homie, Tank Tyler, who actually did move out of the United States. I don't know if he's coming back. He actually used to play football on like the Rams and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out to my boy Tank. But yeah, he moved out of the United States. He's over there in like Ghana right now, building houses and stuff like that with his hands.
So dope.
But yeah, like Timekeeper did say, you know, independents couldn't get enough electoral college votes, and that's actually a thing. That's the truth. It's one of the reasons why they're trying to actually get rid of the electoral college. That's what. Look, I feel like once they get rid of the electoral college,
which I don't even know what that is, so.
Basically, all right. So the electoral college is like this. So every state has a certain amount of electoral college votes based off of the amount their population. So if you have a big ass state, you got a lot of votes.
Oh,
gotcha. You got a small state, you got a few votes. So how it works is your popular vote is supposed to determine what the electoral college votes, but that's not really what always happens. And what, you know, so the reason why we, you know, they're talking about getting rid of it is because, you know, the electoral college came, you know, was before, you know, look, when the Constitution and a lot of that stuff was written, it wasn't necessarily written for all of us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessary. So a lot of the stuff that they're doing on there, and that they're, you know, that they want to get rid of, you know, reason, you know, that they're trying to get rid of, is because they know that a lot of these things, Number one, they're not written for everybody, and I'm not saying it's about racism or anything like
Yeah.
that. It could be, shit. Women couldn't vote back then.
Right. Exactly.
So at the end of the day,
Exactly.
it's not even, So you got to look at it from the perspective of a real democracy doesn't have anything in the way of democracy. Isn't that the whole point? Isn't that what everybody, isn't that what, we'll be fighting for when we go to these other countries and we try to stop people from getting in the way of what?
Right.
Democracy.
Yeah.
So if you have something that's getting in the way of democracy, it's kind of like a contradiction.
Exactly.
Like selling weed and snitching on niggas and shit.
What if the Constitution could be rewrote?
They do. They make amendments.
Oh.
So technically it's not, it's not rewritten, but they amend it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they make amendments to it. Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Right, exactly, because, it's...
Yeah, like the EEOC and like all that, it always makes amendments every year. It's like always adding, like then it added women, like you said, and then it added transgender and all these other things to it. So yeah.
Right.
But,
Because now...
Yeah, the world is like totally different. Totally different. So do we want to take a quick music break and then come back? But you've got a awesome question of the day.
I do have a dope ass awesome question of the day. You guys want to hear it first? Should I tell them first or afterwards? Yeah, let's tell them first. All right, so the question of the day, and I want you guys to call in. The number is 404-900-2098. This is the question of the day. If you've been doing music for a long time, you might have been doing music for years, then all of a sudden you look up and you realize that you don't have a support system, you don't got a team, and you don't really have any real fans. Do you keep going? Or do you quit? Is there a certain point where you say, hey, that's it? Or do you say, nah, because no matter what, something's gonna shake?
Yeah.
One thing I can definitely tell you is that it doesn't always happen for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, even though everybody has those goals, hopes, wishes, and dreams, it's not always what you think it may be. So, my question is, do you quit or do you keep going?
Dope question. And later in the show, True's going to answer that too, because, he got a lot of wisdom. So, but we're going to take a quick music break. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Lit Life. We hope that you're living a lit life today and for the rest of this week. What we got coming on music?
Some of that jazz Carter.
All right.
Or Cartier.
Yeah.
Let me stop.
Just always messing up people's names. You need people's names like Bob and Jim.
I need regular names, not no goddamn names of t-shirts and sweaters and jackets and shit.
Exactly.
So Jazz Cartier. This is a beat though. This is that which one instrumental.
Oh, dope.
This is like a real, this is an interview. That Project Big.
Oh.
We have a new version of it.
Oh, cool. Dope. Are you playing it tonight, or you're gonna wait till tomorrow?
I wouldn't normally play it again on Drop or Stop. Yeah. Yeah. We up through here. Hey, we up through here. Hey. Yeah, no, so I'm just playing.
Thought you were gonna start write another song real quick.
Huh? All right, I freestyle everything. So yeah, that's how we actually.
Exactly.
We up through here. Not a bad name for it. We up through here. Hey.
Oh,
That's a dope little party.
Yeah,
joint.
yeah.
Ooh, I had a whole crowd like, yeah. Your whole team talking about we up through here.
Exactly.
Hey, we up. No, so I'm just playing.
Yeah, you're gonna like go back there in a second and like start recording it on break. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Repeat the question of the day again, because I think that's an awesome question.
All right, so after you've been doing music for years, you look up and you realize that you don't have any support system, you don't have any kind of a team, you don't have any real fans. You got some music. Do you quit? Or do you keep going? Is there a point? And what is the point where you decide that enough is enough?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the one thing about friends and families and shit. They always gonna tell you your shit hard. That's the reason why we do the Drop It or Stop It, because your niggas is gonna be like, yo, your shit is crazy, bro. That shit goes dumb, bro.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you let someone else hear it who got, a different type of ear, who's actually listening to, that type of music all the time or whatnot, they say something else entirely.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the question of the day. We want to hear it. Call us 404-2098.
Exactly. You can give your comments on YouTube also. We're checking comments, but definitely we would love to hear from you. You know what? But to piggyback on that, there are some parents that, not all parents be like, oh, honey, your song is good. Like, some of them be like, it's trash. Go get a real job. And so that goes to your question. Okay, so when... okay, your music might not be trash, but when do you do, like, your parents might say, go get a real job, have real aspirations, because a lot of people don't think music is like a real aspiration.
Right.
So when is that time? So.
Right.
What else we got? Oh, no. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna read off a few of the comments.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dope.
so Young D3 said he ain't got no support system, but he gonna keep it going. I feel that.
Okay.
I definitely hear that.
Till when? Like when do you just, like, maybe his answer is never. He's like, I'm just
like, so how old, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you rap, if that's all you do is rap, how old is, you know what I'm saying, old enough?
Yeah.
Like, too old, you feel me? Like, so.
But isn't 2 Chainz older? And he just came, like, he's having like a reinvention of his career.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
And Pitbull was another one.
Mm-hmm.
Pitbull was really like, I used to love him. He was kind of like, before Khaled got big, Pitbull was like the first Khaled. Like he was more like that hype man type of.
Right.
So, anyways, I don't know what made me think about that. What else they got?
Yeah. Angel Drew said, you know what I'm saying, he would keep going. You know what I'm saying, no matter what. He spent over 7 bands on his music and left the teaching job. I can dig that. I can definitely dig that too. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I mean, but when's enough?
Exactly.
You feel me? You just turned 20, D3. Okay, yeah, you got plenty of time. You don't look right now. You might not have no support system and shit, but all you got to do is get out there and actually start networking with people, start getting with other like-minded artists and other producers and people who have similar goals, and then you'll have your support system. I guarantee it, especially if your music is dope. So you got plenty of time. Mm-hmm. But I mean. So.
Yeah, I guess they're like, look, we're gonna ride or die. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this till we.
Yeah.
Till we bury. That's good. No, that's when you got real passion for it, But I do think that, just looking at things from like an artist manager standpoint and artist development, like there does have to be a time, like anytime you are going to be a serious artist, part of being a serious artist is making a timeline for yourself. And it's not necessarily that you got to have a manager. or have a team, but you yourself actually have to think, okay, what is my timeline? Where do I want to be at in a year, 5 years, 10 years, you know, like 6 months? You really got to make that timeline, because you'll look up, like you said, you'll look up and be like, damn, I've been doing this for 15 years. How many fans do I have?
Oh, shit, my hair is gray. Oh, fuck. Damn.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know?
So JBM Nova said, well, it depends on, you know, who you are and what you're actually doing it for. Some people do it for the money. Some people do it for themselves. Some people do it for both. He himself would do it, but he'd keep doing it.
Damn.
Do it on the side. That actually makes me think. All right, someone asked me recently, like, you know, the Powerball is always like fucking $180 million.
Yeah,
Some crazy ass ridiculous amount of money, right? So someone asked me, like, yo, if you won the lottery, would you keep doing music? That's one of those questions where it's like,
I don't see you ever giving up music.
I feel like, I think it's like, it's a part of my destiny, so I gotta do music, but at the same time,
I think you might take a long hiatus.
No, I don't even know. You know what? I would probably, knowing me, I'd go buy a bunch of fucking equipment, because that's what the fuck.
Yeah, I don't see you ever.
All the most expensive shit that you could possibly buy, and then I'd be, and it would be like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I already know how I am. So
well, you're a techie person though too.
Exactly.
You're a techie person,
That's
so I don't ever see you.
Right, that's my playground is freaking like Micro Center. I love going to places like that. It feels like I'm in the toy store.
Exactly. You know, like how us girls want to like go shopping. Well, actually, I don't like going to stores. I like shopping on Amazon.
Right.
But how excited we get about that, that's how he's like, oh my God, I get to go to Micro Center today.
Right, exactly.
Dope. Those are some good answers. And JBM Nova, that like actually I really respect that answer, because we always talk about how mature we think he is as a musician. But this just proves that he's actually really mature as a person. Like, I really love that answer. Very true. Very true.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah.
So do we have any more? You guys keep your comments coming. Call or send in your comments on YouTube. But let's go on to, do we have any more politics stories?
Okay, so in the politics, look, in the freaking politics, number one, first of all, you know what I'm saying, it's a big ass mumps outbreak in the freaking, you know, the quarantine. All right, so you know how your Uncle Trump has been detaining everybody, and he's been detaining all the migrants who've been coming over. Now, this is actually, it's two things that actually made me think about this shit. Number one, your Uncle Trump's been detaining all the migrants. So what ended up happening is now
people are going to really think he's my uncle now.
Right, I know, right? So what ended up happening is now there's an actual outbreak of mumps within the camps there. And the thing is, all right, number one, of course, coming from other places, you're actually not going to have all the same vaccines that we've had. So if we've been vaccinated against the mumps and different things like that, kids and stuff like that come from other countries may not, and actually probably not have gotten those. So the thing is, you got that problem, so then it ends up spreading all over and becomes like an actual like epidemic.
Is that what it's called?
It's not really an epidemic there yet, but it's, I guess, you know, in a way it could be. It's only an epidemic when it's like takes over a large portion of the population, but the thing is, it's a large portion of their population. 2,000 migrants have to be quarantined now.
In Dallas, or where is this at? No, like where? Did they say which camp it was at?
Yeah, this is in rural Louisiana.
Oh my God. Like, I gotta get further away.
Right.
I gotta get further away.
So, I mean, that's that. But then here's another thing that I noticed too. All right, so you remember how a couple weeks back I actually said on the air that we actually have less migrants that are coming and crossing the border than have ever been coming across the border?
Oh.
Remember I said that? Like 2 weeks back?
Yeah.
So now what's happening is that shit's no longer the same.
Right.
So now I guess, so what they're doing now is they're actually coming over and seeking asylum and actually trying to get caught. So they're coming over the fence, and standing there, just waiting for people to come. So now they're saying that is record amounts of people who are coming over the border now. Right now, as of, you know, the last month, there are record amounts of migrants that are coming over the border. So maybe Trump might have kind of been on something. I mean, sometimes you be trying to feel like, you know, he's forcing it, but at the same time, sometimes, you know, some people, I don't know, like, it's not that he's, It's not. No, I don't. And I'm not gonna. It's not. Let's put it like this: the policies and the way and the reasons that he are doing things aren't agreeable. But sometimes you start to understand, some types of methods to certain things. Now I can't agree to any of the shit that he's doing, as far as the racism shit, as far as him standing there talking about they send their rapists in there worse of the worst. No, I don't agree with none of that shit. But what I do see is that yes, there are a lot of migrants, and actually it's becoming a point where, see, what they're doing, and they don't even realize it. See, what people need to do is actually chill out over there. Like, y'all chill out.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to build the freaking wall. Because, see, what's going to happen is you're going to give him a reason and give him the fuel to say, look, now if you look at the numbers, guys. Look at these numbers. They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you give him the you're gonna give him the fuel. He's the type of person who's gonna take that opportunity and run with that shit. So don't, So it's like a thing where you kind of gotta. I don't know. I don't know if you guys. I don't know who's listening or whatever. But at the end of the day, this is one of those things where you gotta think about it. What's happening is you give this man a reason to do something, then he's gonna be able to do it, because now he's gonna have the proof to say. Because now you got somebody who's like me, who's looking from the outside in, who actually doesn't agree with none of the shit that he's saying, and actually see what he's talking about.
Well, and let me know when you're done, because I want to interject something on that. So God, I wish I would have. I didn't plan on talking about this tonight, so I didn't research it. But I cannot remember the name. I'm horrible with names. But there's a documentary on Netflix. I guess it's actually been out since like 2014 or 2015, and I just watched it the other day. So okay, I'm crazy, but it was about, God, I wish I remembered his name, but it was about this cop who was like the dirtiest cop. It's called the 75 for the 75th precinct. Yes. So by the way, that dude follows me.
Oh, he does.
The cop, well, ex-cop now. Felon. but yeah, it was supposed to be like, he was supposed to be the dirtiest cop to date, that they've caught of U.S. history. Okay, so he was like in his heyday when he was still a cop, and like they asked him, they were like, okay, do you think that you're a cop or a gangster? And he was like, both. Both. Like, that's really, like, that was his life. Like, he really felt like
it meant the shit out of it.
Exactly, and that's when he went in front of the whole board. I think it was like the board of like law or whatever. Like he had like a bunch of lawyers and judges in front of him.
It's basically a deposition.
Yes, deposition.
Deposed, yeah.
So, and he actually looked pained to say it. Remember when he said it, he was like, both. Damn it. But anyway, so my point is, like, and in the middle of his heyday, he like dealt with this other dude, Alex somebody, who is, oh my God. Like, I wish this dude was single. Like, I actually did check to see if this dude...
Here we go.
No, he is so cute. And his accent is like, okay. But anyways, this drug cartel guy, Alex, whatever his name is.
Really? And he's a drug cartel guy? I had no idea that you were talking about a freaking mob boss.
Yeah. Well, so the ex-cop, like, linked with this drug cartel. Yeah, right. He was, like, one of the biggest, like, dope guys of that era. Anyways, so he was talking about it because now they're both out of prison and they're now coming out with these cigars. And so they were being interviewed about these cigars. So Alex, the guy from Colombia, was saying what you were saying. He was like, look, some of the stuff, he was like, I don't really agree with Trump. I don't really like Trump. But he said, I do agree. He was saying that there are a lot of people. He was like, he said, yeah, U.S., that's supposed to be like the land of the free. He was like, so yes, you got people that want to be nurses. You got women that just want to be a mom and come over here. You got people that want to be teachers. He said, but you also got all the dope dealers standing there trying to cross the border because they're like, yo, this is the land of the free. Like, I'm going to go back and forth and I'm going to do this. He was like, you don't think they're thinking that? And he was like, so... Trump is smart in that era where he's like trying to keep them out. He was like, but it's just a way. And he was saying it's a presentation. I agree with that. Like, it's really the presentation of how Trump gives things that just make people lose their minds.
Right. It's too abrasive.
Yes.
I think, and that's kind of That's what I say to a lot of people. And some, presentation is 80% of the sale. Like if you want to sell it to somebody, it really actually no. What it is he's actually not trying to sell it to us. Who he's selling it to is who he's actually pitching it for. So that's why it sounds the way it does to us. So at the end of the day, it makes a lot of sense why he's doing that. But at the same time, you feel me? So like, even if you have a great point, it's shitty if you have a great point and you're selling it the wrong way.
Exactly.
People ain't gonna freaking buy it. How you think they're gonna buy it? They might buy it.
Right.
But it's gonna take after they have to see the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like some people can actually sell you something and you never had to see it first. You never even had to see it. You never had to smell it. You never had to taste it.
It created that in your mind.
Right, but then there are other people who you actually gotta physically hold that shit and you gotta look at like, hold on, nigga, let me plug this shit in and see if it work. Nigga, fuck that. Make sure this motherfucker work on your ass. God damn it. You feel me? And he's a let me plug this shit in and make sure this shit work as person.
Yes. And it's funny because like, I don't know, like I honestly feel the next president, you know how athletes, when athletes, before you actually play for NBA, you have to go to like all these classes that they send them to a class, and NFL players, to be like, okay, this is how you treat females, this is how you get them in your room, this is how you don't be seen, this is what you do. Like they actually give classes on that shit. So I feel like the president should get classes on social media etiquette and like communication etiquette, how to, because that's you hit it right on the nail on the head, because it's like he's pitching it to people that he's talking to in the White House or people with money that don't have a lot of time, like they don't care about their feelings. They're like, what do I want to put my money behind next? But us, like we got, it's different.
It's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, don't.
So, I mean, I ain't trying to bore y'all with the goddamn politics, but this is what the fuck we do, man.
Exactly.
Shit. Sometimes you gotta know about what's going on in your country because shit, people will be doing some shit that you really, really don't know or don't expect, and then you turn around and now you get drafted or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
and
you gotta pay attention to that type of shit because, it goes down. But I mean, this right here ain't politics. The next shit I got is about goddamn soccer.
You got the dirt on something?
On the fucking soccer team. So how y'all feel about this shit with the sports? Like, so women, do you feel like women should have equality in sports? This isn't politics right here. Politics. I don't think.
Like, what do you mean by equality?
Equality, like basically, do you think you should get equal pay?
Oh.
In sports.
Okay, so for that to me, should is a strong word, because yes, I do feel that females should be equal to males in the corporate world and in entertainment, in sports, whatever. But the thing is this, in the real world, like, I'm just throwing out numbers because I don't know how many, but if you're saying that, 8 million people will watch an NBA game, but 1 million watch WNBA, and it is, like, that's actually a fact. Like, you can look that up. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but it's way lower for WNBA.
Right.
Way lower.
Right.
So in that context, no, should they receive equal pay? But they're not, because of the numbers. Like, people don't,
Right, exactly. No, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
But when you talk about FIFA and you talk about soccer and the world of football in other countries.
Football.
Actually, it's the opposite. So this year, what they were saying is that the women actually brought in more money in revenue and ads and everything this year than the men. So what's happened is they actually brought up a lawsuit, and the American women's soccer team actually is suing, FIFA and the World Cup Association, because they're trying to, and they actually filed a lawsuit on National Women's Day because they're trying to actually go ahead and equal out the pay.
Yes.
Basically, what's happening is, the purse for the men's soccer team, the men, is like $400 million or something ridiculous like that.
That's crazy.
The purse for women's was like 15.
Yeah. See.
So they just doubled it this year. They said there was one of the things that they said about behind this.
Wow.
They doubled it to 30 million.
Wow.
But see, the winner of the team. This is the thing. Like these girls are bringing in so many people and having so many people watch this shit. But the winners aren't really taking home no bread like that, like how they really supposed to. So, but the winners of the male, they're taking home $40 million. The team who wins takes home $40 million. That's just automatic.
As a team?
As a bonus. Just as
wow.
Yeah, just in your pocket. Y'all get that. You see what I'm saying?
So they take that $40 million and they disperse it over the team?
I guess.
I'm sure like starters get, obviously there's people that get more than.
Probably, exactly. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, that's how that shit goes, and it's like, so they're feeling some type of way. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, this is the opposite, where the women are actually bringing in a ton of revenue. They're bringing it in. They get. I mean, shoot. Yeah. This is not basketball. This is like it's soccer, so it's a little bit different. The women are actually. I want to say this. I feel like it's a little bit weird, misogynistic to say, but I mean, it's like, you know, the feminine. It's like, you know, there's a little bit. It's just a different. So like when you look at the reason why I feel like there's less ratings for basketball is because men rock with it, but they rock with it in a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I think it's the thing is, I think it's advertised more in everything.
I mean, it's advertised more, but it's still like, it's like, I don't know. It's because they still have, it's still explosive. It's still all that. Yeah. But it's just a little different. You know what I'm saying? But when you talk about, you know, women's soccer and like this, still the level of like femininity and stuff that comes along with it. Okay, I see what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? So then it becomes so men look at it differently than they look at basketball. You see what I'm saying? So I can honestly say that I've never sat through a full game or a tournament or any of that of WNBA. Really? Never. In my life, I've watched a couple of like
one of my
reels and shit.
Not one of my ex friends. One of my friends is an ex WNBA player.
I'm sorry.
I hope you're not watching.
No, it's
that's
not
crazy.
Because it's. I don't know. It's just.
It's definitely different. Yeah.
It's. I don't know. I feel like it's. I don't know why. I can't even say. I don't. It's. I don't know why. It's because I know it's just as explosive. They they can still shoot the lights out and they dunking and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just it's like a little different.
It actually makes sense though. Like the way that you broke it down is like I do think that. I can't talk about, teams in Italy and Canada and all that, but I think that U.S. basketball is very, even for the women's teams, it doesn't have a lot of femininity to it. There's a couple of players that you have that are real, feminine, and they're still doing commercials. And like even Serena, like on tennis, you know what I'm saying? Like even though she plays hard ass, there's still that femininity to her, right? And her sister. So I guess, I see what you're saying, like as far as the soccer. I mean, if they're bringing in money, clearly, like, yes, they need to be paid the same. They need to be paid the same for real. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're bringing in bank. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like, if they're bringing in bank like that, they should be able to make it shake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the reason why they're like, hold on. Yeah. Cash us out, because look what we brought in, and look what y'all see. So basically, how y'all trying to do is this is basic. I mean, if anything else, in the most basic of terms, it is discrimination. Yeah, like, definitely. You gotta cash us out the same way you cash out everybody else. Yeah. If we bringing in that money. You know what I'm saying? And
a thought on what you were just talking about too, as far as like the WNBA. As a side note, there's a lot of chicks that are just like, okay, so like for guys basketball, it like your first idea is like you want, for most people, is like you want to play US NBA. And then if you can't make that, then you're like, oh, like I'll go do international. Right. It's actually swapped for females. Because especially like in Italy, the way they pay people is completely different. It's like a club. It's more like a club. And they pay completely different. So a lot of times with females, they're like, yo, dope. Like, sign me up. I'm over there.
Because at the end of the day, the money is really not with, it ain't really shit. Yeah. If you're over there with it. But then when you go over there, I mean, I can see that because, see, as a retired ball player, you might go and play because you still want to keep some bread coming in. Right.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah. But, like go to Canada or go to, overseas. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so Awesome question of the day. Repeat your question of the day for people that might just be joining.
The question of the day is, if after doing music for a while, after doing music for years, and you look up and you realize that you have no support system, nobody who's got your back, no fans, but you got some music.
Well, they better have like one fan.
I mean, even if you got no, it'd be like you might got one fan, it'd be your aunt. It's your aunt over there. She always playing your shit. You feel me? Do you keep going or do you quit? You know what I'm saying? And when do you quit? Like, when is the time where you say, as a rapper, it's over with? You feel me? When is it?
Yeah.
So I'd like to know that. 404
900
2098.
Yes, so we're going to take a quick music break. And of course, True's rule is if you are on at the end of the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're on at the end of the show and you got your comments and we can see that you're on at the show, then what happens?
Then you get a guaranteed play for tomorrow on Drop It or Stop It. You know what time it is, man. Hell yeah.
Send us a comment on YouTube, though, not IG, okay?
Yeah, it's so far away over there. I don't even know who the hell's on it. For real. So go to the YouTube /Wealthy Ears Radio.
Yes, thank you to everybody that is watching. But yeah, you can definitely see it better. So, alrighty, let's take a quick music break, and then we'll be back with more stories, getting you up to date on all the entertainment so you can live your lit life this week. Who we got?
Lil Xan, 2 Chainz, TikTok.
I like using it. All about it is like a computer. Do you need anything?
Now you up on your pocket. Might just go hit it with the D, yo. Probably go hit it with the D, yo. I like them red, I like them red. You come and match, play to a back, say. Don't need a back, they know what that is. Can't no one take us, say she got never had name, my dog. She on with Big Alpha, she call me Big Papa. I'm in a ribs off, I got them friends talking. She full of pride, no listening now. She selling my rock, yeah. She got bitch in her pocket. But real shit, I hate with niggas that gon' kill shit. It's only right I have a real soul, just to go feel this. When they see what your nails did, you the one I'm trying to build with. You ain't about to ask with it. He probably thinking he can still hit. Showing off, but he still got his show, but it's still lit. Hang with shooters, but I still trip. Tell my jealous in the field kicks. Match you up on your pocket. Hey. You think you in here with a bro? Say. Might just go hit it with the D, yo. Probably go hit it with the D, yo. I like them red, I like them red. You go and they do it back, say. Don't need a back, they know what that is. Yeah, tell us that she been high, never had name, my die. Project, bitch, always talking this shit. I just let her go ahead cause I be off this shit. And I tell her come on early, I ain't talking shit. I'm ready to fight like a horse in it. Make a hoops in the air like J-Lo. Keep down for whatever, really doing what I say so. I be in these streets, really stacking up ISO. I was in the A with my bro holding Dracos. Wanna be with me cause I'm saucy. Started talking about cuffing and she bossy. I don't want no love, I only want profit. I be in these streets really slime with a monster. She love me nigga, I'm a little monster. I was in these trenches, cold plugs and I robbed it. I was saying something in them niggas that be heartless. So she gon' run, I ain't never gon' go. Match you up on your pocket. You think you in here with a bro? Might you gon' hit it with a D.
Probably gonna hit it with the D, yeah. I like them ratchet. Them big old facts. Hey, hey, never had nothing so sweet. Hey, and if you need some beats, hey, go get with me. Hey, and if you need some hooks, hey, you know where to look. Hey, and that with your boy. Hey, I don't play like no toy. Hey, come on, don't avoid. Yeah, I'm a spoil. Hey, yeah, man.
Dope. So, okay, for all those people that are crazy and don't know who that is.
Send me some beats. Look, matter of fact, Kilo, I see them beats that you sent. And, oh yeah, Kilo sent, I think he sent, I seen in the email, he sent a drop it, a stop it, or it was a lit Lyfe.
Oh my God.
Sample, should we play? I don't know if we should play. See, because I don't know, because like, should we play it right now? Or like, because I seen it. Hold on, let me just check the email real quick. I think we should play it. Oh my God. Hold on, because we've been asking.
We've been asking for this.
And we've been trying to make sure, we're trying to get one of y'all up through there. And hold on, it's the whole different email I got to sign into. Hold on, look.
Okay. And the thing is what's crazy is I thought artists were going to jump on it. And it's actually a producer making, which is dope. Like, I love it.
He's a producer / artist, ain't it?
Yeah. Does he do? Yeah.
Because you remember the first time it was a beat, it was a song. And that's why every time he puts in parentheses, beat, nigga. It's a goddamn beat. Hold on, we got a call. You want to take the caller?
Sure.
What it do, Wealthy Is Radio? What's happening?
What's happening, man? Listen, this is going to kids.
Who is this?
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you? Who is this?
Yeah, I'm back in tuning with y'all. I just shared it and told everybody if they do music or not to tune in. And I told you I really fuck what y'all got going on. Real live, honest feedback. And you know, and y'all give artists like where they messed up, how to critique and how to come back and how they should do things that'll progress their career.
Hell yeah. Well, I got a question for you though. What you think about? Was you listening when I asked about the question of the day?
Yeah.
So what you think? Would you, you know what I'm saying, in that situation, you know, after you realize after doing music for a long time, man, do you quit or do you keep going?
No, never quit. What I'll do is I'll write. I'll be behind the scenes with it. Like if you love music, it's gonna be in you forever. Whether your shine, because everyone has a time period. Sometimes your shine is gonna fade, but how do you still keep that light on you without it really being on you?
Right. That's why a lot of people become managers and stuff like that.
Yes. And, I mean, that was a great point because I was wondering when somebody was going to talk about that because, like, what you're talking about is really like, yo, like, there comes a point in your plan that you got to reinvent yourself.
Right.
And if you're not, like, totally, like, always reinventing yourself, like, you're going to become stale. Like, and that's in whatever you do, music or whatever.
Absolutely. So what you say your name was again, Brody?
I go by Goon the Kid. I just sent y'all something. I'm gonna tell you how much I really fuck with y'all live reviewing what y'all got going on. I got a song called Reasons from Sheffield Chase at Gmail that I just sent to you guys. It's gonna be on the album.
Okay.
You're the first to review it and the first to listen besides me and the guy that created it.
Wow. We are like so honored, exclusive.
Look, I just flagged it just now. I found you, Goon the Kid 400.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, you got a guaranteed play for tomorrow. I got you, my dude. Yeah. I appreciate your feedback too.
Appreciate what y'all got going on. I'm gonna try to share to everyone. I got a lot of people in Philly and Atlanta who's gonna be tuning in.
Hell yeah, where you at?
Right now I'm in Philly.
Oh, that's what's up. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to
I'm from Atlanta.
Okay.
Oh, well, if you're down here on May 3rd, True made the big exclusive announcement.
Definitely, you're invited to come to the Drop It or Stop It showcase. You gotta come, bro. If you can come, if you can get here on May 3rd, come here, man. Come on. Jump on a bus, jump on a plane.
Oh, yeah, I'll for sure be down
there. Yay.
Yeah, I think the plane ain't number.
I'm gonna email or I'm gonna DM y'all so I can get all the information.
Hell yeah! I think the plane's like $50 or $55.
What? Shut
Yeah,
up.
from Philly to Atlanta. Yeah, it's like $55.
For real?
Like, all the time type shit. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome good.
Yeah, that's just like an hour and a half flight and even.
Oh,
Hell
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for calling. We love you and thank you for your support.
Love y'all too, man. Keep doing good.
Hell yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Goon the Kid, shout out.
For real.
All right, so yeah, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Oh my God. So there's like so much going on. I mean, definitely a lot going on in the politic world. Thank you for bringing, and sports. We had sports news tonight too. So has anybody watched Leaving Neverland? The new documentary about Michael Jackson?
No, I haven't watched it and I'm mad about it. I'm mad.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
It's actually like, you're mad about that you haven't watched it, or you're mad about the documentary?
I'm mad about the documentary.
Why? Before I get into the story, why? I want to know.
Because, all right, so in the United States, we have a constitutional right to not look. If you die before you've been found guilty, it's your constitutional right to not be guilty. You're not guilty. Period. That's the reason why Aaron Hernandez is not guilty, who was a Patriots player who allegedly murdered 2 people but died in his jail cell before he was convicted.
He committed suicide, right?
So his family was able to get his pension, the money from football and everything else, all that shit, because he wasn't convicted. At the end of the day, it's the same exact scenario, but the only difference is, see, what we do is we do public trials now. See, now that we have Instagram and we have internet and we have live and we have all these different ways of being able to see somebody, and they can, and like you can literally torch somebody
by the
live
social media trial,
on
like
social media, and everybody will see, and what will happen is you'll sway public opinion so that nobody knows. So the thing is, this will happen. It'll become such a famous thing that public opinion is swayed, and then what happens is, then the person cannot get a fair trial, even if he wanted to. The only way that he'd be able to get a fair trial is if he go to another freaking country where no one knows who the hell he is. But the point is, what happens is, like nowadays, it doesn't work like that. And this is what happens with everybody who's being filleted on freaking, on the media right now. Like Jesse, like R. Kelly, like, even Trump. I mean, people, like, what's happening is they're not really getting a trial. They're actually getting destroyed on the media so that public opinion is against them.
Yeah.
And then what happens is, even if they were to have a trial, it would be extremely hard for the reasonable doubt to be brought in there, because everybody just already that nigga guilty, that nigga guilty than the mother.
Yeah.
I even can slick think R. Kelly be sleeping with little girl. No, I ain't gonna say that. No, I'm gonna say this. Now, what I say is this: I do not think R. Kelly has to force anybody to do anything.
We got a story on that coming up. But back to MJ, and you got a good point. So, but back to MJ.
It's like, to me, it's kind of the same. It's that they're like in the same boat, because it's like, how do you publicly put MJ on trial? How do you publicly put him on trial?
Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't even be able, like, I feel like it should be illegal to do that. I feel like that should be, we need to make an amendment for that. So that if a person actually is dead, you can't now destroy his name, because see, what's happening is he can't even defend his good name. And that's the shittiest part about the whole thing. He can't even if he wanted to, he can't even defend his good name. And that's the reason why they say that if a person dies before they're convicted, then they're automatically not guilty, because number one, you are in this country supposed to be not guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty. Exactly.
Innocent until proven guilty, which means the same exact thing. Which means if I'm not able to be able to go ahead and and defend myself, then you can't say I'm guilty. And the same exact reason why a person who is insane would get off for killing somebody, because they're insane. They can't defend. They can't even not only can they not defend themselves, but they can't even explain why anything is happening.
And they don't even know if the defense that they're getting is good.
They don't even know what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, like, if counsel, you know, the judge is gonna ask you things like, do you understand the charges?
I guess.
And then you going in your underwears and you eat and you digging in.
Damn.
You know, you doing stuff that shows that you a crazy ass mother. Like at the end of the day.
Right. Exactly.
Like at the bottom line.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
exactly. No, I
can't prove.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the same exact concept. So why did they do that to MJ?
No, I do agree with you on that, because the thing, and that's
pisses me off.
Yeah, that's a great point, because the thing is that you know, like if when you have a trial, that's the biggest point, is that I do believe in the freedom of speech. I believe that that's what the media was created for. Everybody is supposed to have a freedom of speech. The thing is that now media takes it to a whole nother level where they highlight the stories they want to highlight.
Right.
You know, so that, you know, that's another whole subject that we can talk about one day. But yeah, definitely. You know, because they went. Okay, so the guys on the documentary, the two dudes, and I can't remember their names right now. I'm sorry, but they sound very believable, and they've done a lot of interviews with the director. I feel like this is probably the most attention that any director has ever had for like some type of documentary like this, because he's literally getting more interviews than the dudes are, because people are like why would you take this, and did you believe them, and why did you believe them, and do you think they're credible? And he's backing them, saying like they're not getting any money for this. But okay, I do believe they're not getting any money. I actually do believe them, because I actually do believe them, because if you really look at, hey, you know, they could have like a great publicist or whatever, but you want to take a call real quick?
No, I don't want. If you want to take it, we can.
Yeah, well, I'll go back. I'll remember what I was saying. Yeah, I'm gonna take a call.
Okay. What it do? Wealthy Ears Radio. What's happening?
Hey. Hello.
That's an 881 number. I don't think I've ever even. Hey,
Hey.
What it do?
Hello?
Yeah, you hear me?
You're on air. You're live with Wealthy Ears Radio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm basically calling to answer the question.
Awesome.
Okay, that's what's up.
What's your answer? What you got for us?
It was from Georgia, and I'm calling to answer the question about, so basically, even though I'm seeing that I try my best, I spend too much, and I look up and I see music not working, and I go to keep up, because the thing is, I honestly believe you have to born with it. You have to born to love music, and if you see you love music, no matter what you do, no matter what people tell you, no matter how hard it's looking, no matter how you're not seeing the road ahead, you just have to the music you want to do. That is your passion, and just don't give up, and that is just me. And no matter what I go through, just if I don't see no support, nobody sharing music or nothing, like sleeping and people. At the end of the day, I make myself happy, I make myself positive. That is all I do like it.
Right, that's dope.
Oh, I love that. Like, that's very inspirational. You know, our show is Lit Life. It's about, you know, how do you live that lit life, and you got to stay motivated.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love that. Where are you calling from?
Dominica.
Dominica?
Well, I call it from Dominica, but that's the Commonwealth of Dominica, not Dominica Republic.
Oh, thank you so
Right, so he's in the West Indies. What's your artist name? What's your name?
Angel Jutoma.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Angel.
Angel.
Yes.
Shout out to the boy Angel
Yeah.
Drew Thomas. Go ahead and follow him. Go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube, because that's how we do over here. You know, you feel me? But yeah, definitely send your song in, because we want to hear your shit for tomorrow. And make sure everybody who's on here, who's participating, I want to make sure I say this because I forgot to last time. Put in your subject line, right, that you participated and you watched Lit Life, because that way we don't overlook you when we're going through the emails, because there's tons and tons of emails to go through. So yeah, definitely, man. We appreciate you. We definitely thank you for your feedback, and we'll get with you tomorrow, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And that's awesome. Really, that is very inspirational. So for any artist that's out there right now that's just like, oh my God, I gotta give up. Like, this too much, too damn much. That's a lot of inspiration tonight. But like we said, have a timetable. We're gonna get your answer towards the end of the show too.
Right.
What you laughing at? What'd they say?
No, I'm just tripping off of they still talking about this damn project bit song.
Oh,
Yo,
y'all like that, huh?
I like that joint too, though.
Yeah, I do too.
Might as well hit it with the D. Probably gonna hit it with the D. That joint, man. I like them right. Yeah.
I like the daddy part. Wait, that's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Why is that the only thing I remember those on? Okay, so thank you for your caller, Angel. But like back to the story about MJ, I listening to it, I really do feel like, because there's so many facts, like they even talk about, and like I said, anybody can lie, like anything can be, stretched in the media, but they're remembering the first time they actually met each other. And they talk about how they felt like they were being traded in for the next new boy. They would be on like sets of like videos or songs or whatever. And these are kids that they didn't just like randomly meet him. Like they were on some of his videos and things like that. And like they met and they talk about like when MJ, what his style was, and like how Michael would like, be in a big group. He would get the parents to trust them, and parents would be like, oh, okay, I'll see you for a week. I'll see you next week. And they literally leave their kid with him in Neverland, like no family, no monitoring. But they're basically, they said Michael told them, if you ever share this or tell anyone about this, we will both go to jail for a very long time, and you love me, right? You don't want me in jail. And it was kind of like that mental manipulation. But they compared notes, like the time, like they actually crossed paths, like both these boys crossed paths. And one of the boys was like feeling, like Michael would always go out, like he'd be in a group and then he'd take that one special boy out to the side and be gone for a couple hours and then come back. And it was like that let down feeling of like, how come I'm not, like, if I don't do what he says, like I'm going to lose my special spot with him. And I'm like, damn.
But that, okay.
But to finish, like, I definitely agree with you. Like, how do you ever find a jury that, like, it just came out about a really big public trial. I can't remember whose trial it was. But the people on the jurors were actually talking about, and I don't know why it didn't get a mistrial, because they were talking about, oh yeah, we specifically signed papers that said we wouldn't talk to anybody, but we all went out to drinks, and we all talked
about this shit.
Like, how can that not be a mistrial? So you're right, like where do you go? Like, I do believe them. I believe that they're not getting money, but they are very smart. They know what they're doing. Like, they're doing it, like, are they doing it so now it's like there really can't be anybody that's going to have a clear mind to be a real juror.
Yeah, it's
like,
exactly. Unless they're already going to have their mind made. Whatever, it's either going to be that he's guilty or he ain't guilty, but their mind is already going to be made.
Right.
And that's just the bottom. That's the thing that's kind of terrible about it, So.
Exactly. And then the thing is like, so Oprah came out with this story. So this is like what I really wanted to talk about on this story that's gone longer than I thought. But so Oprah wants to know who allegedly helped Michael Jackson sexually abuse children. Oprah.
Huh?
I love Oprah, but
Why?
Oprah, that's a stupid ass question. If you are Michael Jackson, why are you going to ask who is helping you? It's everybody. And that's what the two guys said. It's everybody. It's your bodyguard. It's the nannies. It's the cook. It's the security. It's everybody. Why are you going to ask who helped him? They all helped him. If it's really true, they all helped him. And that's what the guys are saying. They were like, no. Like, the nannies didn't come in. Like, everybody knew when Michael walked off with you, no one bothered you.
Yeah, but all right, so, okay, I can dig it. No one bothered. Look.
They all had to know if it was.
I don't know. I feel like either they all knew and they're all scumbags, or he really wasn't sexually abusing these boys. He was really just actually giving them, you know, a time of their life and being a, you know, wanting to be their friend and stuff, and it was just a little weird, but now actually touching them, not coming back around smelling like cinnamon and shit and all that shit. No, nigga, it was just fucking him just having
jumping on
beds,
having pillow fights.
Yeah, just being
eating chocolates,
just being kind of strange and kind of off balance, but to be, you know, it's one thing. I mean, the thing is, this is the thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like when you have a best friend, right? I mean, you ever had a best friend who, as soon as you get a girlfriend, or as soon as they get a boyfriend, all of a sudden they start acting all different and shit, and the first thing you do is feel some type of way, and you start noticing it all wham off wham.
Yeah.
That's the same exact concept with what you're hearing there. Like, oh, as soon as someone else came, I was the next. You know, he was just waiting for the next.
No, but they go into detail, like how he used to like touch on their privates and like touch. Like, you gotta watch it.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Then who knows how many years? It's been like 15 years, solid.
No, let me say this though. So they did have a segment in there where they talk about, because the director said, I knew people were gonna say, why are you coming now? Like, Michael Jackson is dead. Like, why are you doing this to him now? He was like, I knew people were gonna ask a lot of questions. He said, so I made them confront that question on the documentary. And what they say is both of them had kids, both of them were boys. And when they had their boys, they looked at their boys and they were like, wow, like that's what innocence is about. That's what innocent love is about. So now if I take my boy and I leave my boy with somebody, and now when they're returned from this place to me, they're like a totally different person. And they're like, you know, his innocence has been taken. So, and the moms are on the documentary too.
Now, one thing I can definitely say is, I don't know.
So I thought, like, I wanted to know, so with this story, I wanted to know, what do you think about that? Because you've got a son.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, what do you think about that rationale? Does that make sense to you that now they'd be, like, coming out?
Firstly, I don't know. Does it make sense that they now be coming out? Maybe, depending on the type of parent you are. If you're the type of parent who, you know, you can't, like, if you too abrasive to your kid and they feel like they can't talk to you, or if you're too friendly with them and they feel like they feel like they don't, it's like they're ashamed of it, then you may not be able to have that type of conversation with them. But what I do say is that I don't know, man, like I feel like sometimes certain stuff is about other things, you know. And when it comes to, like, look, all right, so as like having a best friend as a child, I've had best friends as a child, and then I remember there was one time where I went to a camp. I mean, this is nobody, if anybody who's watching this shit from from school back in the day, they have no idea that this happened.
Don't call in.
I'm about to tell y'all some shit that happened.
Wow.
So one day, I was at this camp. I went to freaking summer camp. I went to like this camp for like a couple, for a while or whatever. And then I ended up coming back, you know what I'm saying? But like all my best friends and
like
stuff.
Like an overnight camp.
Yeah, it was one of those type of camps where you overnight, you're there like for days though.
Yeah.
You're doing all kinds of activities and stuff and painting all kinds of shit. So, long story short, when I came back from the camp, I felt some type of way. Like I was super depressed. I was all like crying and shit. And like,
why?
I don't know. I just like I was like sad that I wasn't around my friends anymore. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it did kind of change something. It made me feel some type of way. And so I can understand that if a child comes back from being around somebody who just gave them the time of their life and just made them feel like they're the most special person in the world. And then all of a sudden they come back and they're like, their mom's telling them to do shit and they gotta do this and do that. The first thing they're gonna do is feel like they're gonna be on some whole other, you know what I'm saying? So I can get that. I can actually understand that from a perspective of me actually gone through that from, I was young. I was real young. But at the same time, I think I was probably around 8. It was like in that age range.
That was their age range, 8 to 10.
I was exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't even think about it from that perspective until now. That actually, I was actually that same age. So it makes sense for them to have felt that type of way. But see, here's the other thing. it also makes sense for them to wait 20 years and then finally come out with the shit after things like offers that they were supposed to get that fall through. I mean, there's a whole bunch of alleged stuff that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Mike allegedly touched them. Mm-hmm. They allegedly are only doing this because they were trying to get into a movie and they were told that they couldn't get in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So because they were doing a lot of stuff with Mike that had to do with Mike, and they really loved him and they still love him. And what ended up happening is someone blocked them out of a movie that they were trying to get into. So that allegedly is also true. Is also allegedly true too. So,
I don't
you see
know.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, like I would love to have this conversation again. Like, and I want to watch it again. But like once you watch it, I really want your opinion on what your take was on their sincerity. And huh?
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I'm gonna watch it again. It's like one of those interviews where you like. Seriously, I think I could probably watch it 3 or 4 times and pick something out different every time.
I didn't even watch your cousin's interview.
Who's my cousin?
Y'all killing me, man. Y'all killing me.
Okay, that was later in the. But you know what? Usually we like to talk about stories that aren't known. Let's just talk about him for a second, because this is interesting. So, yeah, I was like posting a bunch of stuff. I got like really excited. Okay, first of all, let's just say Gayle King, I've never liked her before. Like, I feel like she's like that best friend that, like, I don't care how horrible of a reporter you are, you're gonna get a job because it was like Dr. Phil and you're Oprah's friend, so you're gonna get a show, okay? You really don't even need a Iyanla Van Sant who like harasses and makes grown men cry. I really don't like her. No, so this is the thing, like, so I've never really liked Gayle King, but this interview, this lady deserves an Emmy or whatever they give for daytime talk. She looking at him like, ho, if you don't sit your ass down on my show.
She deserves a composure award.
God almighty. Like when he got up and started flaring his arm, she did not even flinch. She used my saying, like you could see her face. Didn't her face look like, it was like, bitch, please.
Right.
Didn't it look like she was using my line?
But if she had a flinched, actually, I think if she had a flinched, I feel like that would have been bad for R. Kelly. Like if she had been like,
right.
The whole time, I feel like that would have been real bad for R. Kelly, because then it would have been like, the memes would have been so much different.
Yeah.
The memes would have been like, he's hitting her.
Exactly.
Or like, it would have been a lot worse, I feel. Like imagine if she would have been, the whole time. Yo,
and then when she was like, Robert.
Yo.
He was like, is the camera on me? Bitch, you on live TV. It been on you.
Definitely.
Anyways, okay, so get past all like the funny part. So this is the thing, is that they had some of the commentators. So after he got done with his interview, it was part of the paperwork that he actually signed off on, that they were now going to interview these 2 girls that are now, I think, like 21 or 22, but they were like, part of his cult or harem that he hogtied. So they were supposed to, but they're in love with him. So they say that they've got this relationship with him, and they were like, we go to the movies, we go to the amusement park, and Gayle was like, I don't want to know about the parks. I want to know about your sex life. I was like, damn, Gayle.
She was digging.
Yeah, and Gayle was like so super serious. So anyways, there was an agreement R. Kelly signed off on that he would not be in the room.
Yeah, he's in the back. I heard he was in the back coughing all loud. Like, you, I'm here.
I believe I can fly.
I believe. Just in the background, just warming up and shit, so that they knew the fuck he was back there and shit.
That's why that girl started crying. She's like, oh, fuck. His ass still back there. No, I'm joking. So it's nothing to joke about, but, come on. Like, everybody, he made himself look a little crazy. But anyway, so his former attorney that did it, like, represented him years ago when he had the first case come out. Okay?
Right.
So his attorney went on, and I guess he's like dying of cancer. I'm so sorry. But anyways, he's like dying of cancer, so I guess he needed to like clear his chest.
Right.
And he was like, no doubt about it, he was guilty as hell the first time. That's what he said.
Oh, yeah.
He was guilty as hell the first time. He said, but I really don't think that he did it now because I made it part of the deal that he now take libido shots. So I don't think that he did it. Man, R. Kelly is like, F those libido shots. I'm not taking that. But apparently he does have, but if you really look at it, like, so like
Wait.
Libido shots, like, it curbs your appetite.
I was gonna say, you can't just run past
Oh,
that.
sorry. Okay. So libido shots, and there's like a technical name for it, but like what it does is it like slows down your, so you really don't want to have sex. Like, I guess, so he's got like a really high sex drive. I mean, I thought it was called a nymphomaniac, but maybe that's just for women. I don't know. Maybe I thought it was just an addiction. Yeah, it's like an addiction. So anyways, his attorney said that he made it part of the deal that he take those shots. But who regulates that? Like, I mean, do you report to a libido parole officer to say I took my shot this week? I mean, how do you know that he's been taking them? I really do believe that he does have a problem because he even admits, if you listen to the interview, he admits that. He goes back to, he was like, I think it was when he was talking about hog tying somebody or something, he was like, or no, locking people in the closet. He was like, after everything I went through in my past, why would I do that? That's exactly why you would do that, because that's what you know. You know, if you're locked in a closet and you're forced to be with women at like 9, 10, not just because you want to be with a woman at 9 or 10 because you're attracted and you're turned on, but you are forced. Man, that's gotta like play on your mind somehow, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. Like, how do you think that's gonna turn out?
How do I think it's gonna turn out?
Yeah. Like, do you think he's gonna be held guilty, or you think it's like his attorney? He's been taking libido shots, so he's not guilty.
First of all, the libido. I actually thought that was I didn't think that was a real thing. I thought that was like something that dudes just talked about. Oh, my libido. I didn't know that was like an actual thing.
Said. Yeah.
Like, so that's an organ or some shit in your body?
I guess, I mean, I think it's like anything, you know, like if you're bipolar or whatever, like it's a chemical imbalance. It's a chemical imbalance.
So basically, I get it.
So they're saying that they, you know, like they were trying to force him to, like, you can look at somebody, you can go to a strip club, you can go wherever, a woman can be standing right in front of you. But if you're taking this, like, it's going to, like, make you not want to.
Right.
You know? So I guess they were, like, not really focusing on the part that he liked young girls. They were just like, let's just
imagine that.
Stop him from liking sex is what they were trying to do.
You know, it's crazy because I think you know what'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
See, with something like that, you may actually, if a person stops taking that, that may actually cause them to have like a super relapse, like a super duper relapse.
Like it comes on more.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, just imagine like if you like there are certain drugs or whatever, maybe like for instance if you take Xans and you're not actually supposed to take Xans.
Yeah.
Like say just because. Only reason why he would have to take it is because he's mandatory. It's not because he has an overactive libido necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because they made it a part of his sentence. So the thing is, it's the same thing like a person who takes Xans. Like a person who takes Xans for a chemical imbalance, like you said. What a chemical imbalance is, if you have an imbalance, if your brain is already balanced, and then you take something that is specifically for a chemical imbalance, what will happen is you will make your brain effectively imbalanced.
Exactly.
So the thing is, what happens is, that's why a lot of people start being kind of cooked or like slow as shit afterwards, because they've took something that imbalanced their brain. Now, of course, you end up, now what they say is one of the side effects of taking stuff like Zen is suicide. Because, why? Because if a person really doesn't have the imbalance in their brain, and then you take the shit in it, now it makes you imbalanced. Now you feel like you want to go body yourself. Yeah. It's the same thing like with the libido thing. If you take some shit that is really, you don't really need it. Like if you don't actually have an overactive libido, and then you take it, and then it's making your body believe that you need to. It makes your body believe it needs to produce more of it because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's like when you take estrogen, like if a person takes estrogen, you'll start producing more. If you take testosterone, you'll start producing more.
Exactly.
But if you take too much of certain things like testosterone, if you take too much testosterone, your body will stop producing it because your body will think that you're getting it.
Right.
So it's the opposite if you're taking something that's stopping the testosterone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And so, yeah, and it's crazy because that kind of leads into my next story. But to talk about what you were just saying, people don't understand like how strong these medications are. Like when my daughter was alive and she had bipolar, and it's like it had escalated to like different levels where she was like hearing voices and stuff like that. So like whenever which is really common for bipolar, like it kind of progresses into other things. But anyway, so but then that means your medication has to get stronger.
Yeah, they gotta change the doses.
Exactly. Right? So what they did is they actually put her, and I think that's what really changed her, is they put her on this medication that actually, this girl was, she was young and barely even had boobies, and it made her lactate, and she ran away from home because she was like, I'm a monster, and it like really threw her for a loop because she's like, what the hell is my body going through? Like, what is this medicine doing? Can you imagine like a little girl and you're lactating like you pregnant, or like you just gave birth and you're gonna feed a baby? You know what I'm saying? So medication has like a lot of serious side effects. So yeah, hey, they might even be able to use that in court to say, just like you have like the sanity ruling, they might even be able to bring this up and be like, yo, he was taking these shots that you told him to, that he was supposed to. I don't know, maybe it was court ordered. The way the attorney was talking, it was court ordered. That fucked him up. It fucked him up. It made him angry. It made him hostile. It made him forget shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see how he's acting? In many ways, like I said, because of how he took off and he shot off on CNN. That was CNN, right? I'm sorry,
CBS.
CBS. On CBS, the way he shot off on it, it kind of makes him look slightly unstable.
Yeah.
And then, see the fact that she didn't. Gail didn't go ahead and see, like I said, if she had been flinching and stuff, then it would have made him seem like he's a danger to people and stuff.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It would have made him seem like he's threatening to people and stuff like that. See, because he was doing, because she kept her composure and he still had his breakdown, it put him in a pocket for where now he has slightly, like if you think about it from a lawyer standpoint, he has slightly more of a case.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're trying to build reasonable doubt on all the stuff that he's doing.
Yeah.
So the thing is, how you build reasonable doubt is the same exact thing like I was saying about Trump earlier. Is like, dude, at the end of the day, once you actually realize that what he's saying may actually have some truth to it, or you start to realize that maybe he's not all the way holding his marbles, then it starts to say like, oh, okay, so maybe he may have an excuse. Stuff like that.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying there's any excuse for anybody being molested or being touched or anything like that. And I know, Mickey, you have some stories about stuff like that happened to you and stuff. And there's no excuse for anybody to rape or to force themselves upon you or anything like that. The thing is, but in a state of law, what actually happens is, when people aren't all the way, they don't have their marbles. It's not that it's an excuse. It's more that it's an escape.
Yeah.
He still may end up doing life, but it just won't be in a real, it'll be in something else and padded walls. As opposed to, as opposed to, cement cells.
Yeah. Because, I totally agree. I feel like there's things like, there's a difference to me when you go out and you plan something and you have intent of doing something rather than, you know, like even Ted Bundy says, it was like, it was just an urge. It was just an urge. Like, I'm not giving him an excuse for eating people, but it was an urge. And that's a mental illness. Like, that's,
right.
It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. I don't know how this works out, but.
I had somebody say, "Oh, you know Ted Bundy? I fuck with him." I'm like, "What? What you talking?" That's some old serial killing ass shit for someone to even say. Like, "Oh yeah, I want to watch that."
Yeah,
no, how you
for
gonna
real.
watch? Okay, well I do like I ain't gonna cap. I be watching the shit out of some Forensic Files.
Me
shit.
too.
Yo, I watch the shit out of that shit, but. You know, I mean, at
Me
the same
too.
time, I'm not finna be like, yo, I fucks with that nigga right there.
No.
If you go hard, bro, like, hell no. Like,
The
I'll
way
watch
he ate
the
that
shit.
heart.
He was like bodying black people, wasn't he? Like, he was like actually
Yes.
there was black people in his refrigerator.
Yes, like you have to watch. Okay, that like I'm a big person on documentaries, so you got to watch that documentary also on Netflix. Shout out to Netflix, but well, yeah, not shout out because they're raising the prices and stuff. But anyways, no, but the thing on Ted Bundy, they asked him. They were, oh no, I think this is on YouTube or something. But they asked him. They were like, what about the interviewer saying? What about the fact that almost all or like all of your victims were black? He didn't even let him finish the question, and he was like, no, it was not a racist. I get asked that all the time. It was not racist. He was like, I was just going out trying to find the best looking gay person that I could.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, at the end of the day,
So do you think that's
it's not, no, I don't think he was. Look, if you're going out killing black people and saving them and eating them, you can't be considered. How the fuck you consider that person? That's not racist. It's like the opposite of racist. No, think about it. Like, if I'm racist, I'm not touching you, let alone eating you.
What about the KKK? They touched him.
They touch him, but they body him. They kill him and then they leave him hanging and they just and they humiliate him. They try to make you look like you're the worst scum on the earth.
Right.
But they're not gonna eat you. They don't even really touch you. They have gloves on. With the KKK always had gloves on and that type of shit, bro. There was always, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you got to look at it from a perspective of, you know, if I'm gonna eat and ingest and all that stuff, I can't be. It's not racism, but
I guess it was the privileged.
But it's just a preference that he just was fucking. You know what I mean? He liked the black. You know what I mean? I guess that was the best looking gay dude.
That's what he said. He was like, I was trying to find the best looking person, and he said the first time he said I didn't start off eating them. I mean, this is like he is like. And I correct this. This was on YouTube that I watched because I watched the thing on Netflix and I got a little obsessed with it, so I went on YouTube. And this dude, he goes into detail, and he's like, you know, I'm gonna die. What the hell? I might as well tell y'all. And he was like, I didn't start off wanting to eat people. He said, but then I wanted them to feel close to me. I didn't want to lose them. I wanted them to be a part of me, so I started eating them.
Right.
Damn.
Exactly. So that was the opposite of racism. That's like.
Yeesh.
That's the opposite of racism, but it's also the opposite of being sane too.
Yeah.
That's the type of person who kind of. So did he get sentenced to death?
Yes.
It's
like I think he's already died. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he was like already died.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is, it's like, dude. I mean, see, here's when you don't get sentenced to death though. Mm-hmm. When you start talking coherently about what the fuck you did. When you start doing interviews, when you start doing interviews about what you did and you start telling people about exactly what happened and you can recall stuff and it's all there and all that, that's when you get sentenced to death because they're like, oh, and you knew exactly what you was doing. And you still know what you was doing.
And he was slick. Like, he was slick Rick because he was saying, you know, I could give you that, like where this other person was buried. You know that person you really want to know? Give her family closure. I want to give her family closure. If you stay my execution and, you know, for like another month or so, I could probably figure out and tell you where she's at, give the family closure. I'm like, man, you are
super manipulative. He was exactly like at the end of the day.
And he was super good looking back then too. Well, not to me. No, not to me. He's not my type, not to me. I like the gangster on the other Netflix documentary.
It's kind of different.
I like the drug cartel guy.
Mickey.
Not him. Okay, let's move on to the next story, please. Wendy Williams. Let's talk about Wendy Williams. Oh, no. I wanted to talk about, we were talking about this really quick. So there's like a fast-acting depression drug that's newly approved. So
the nasal joint?
Yes, and I think it's really cool. I thought you were telling me I was sweating, and I was like, I know I'm sweating.
The nasal joint.
So it's actually supposed to help like within an hour and 20 minutes, because anybody that takes like depression meds or like bipolar or anything like that, like it usually takes like literally for it to get into your body, it can take weeks. You know, it's like if somebody's ready to jump off a ledge and they're like, I'm ending my life. And I'm not trying to make fun of it at all, but they're like, blah, you know, blah, blah, blah. Then people are like, calm down, take your medication. Bitch, like that medication is not going to go into effect.
Because it got to balance you out.
Exactly. Like that's not helping anybody off this ledge right now.
But if you walked up to them and you had a big ass joint or some weed, you were like,
all right.
Yo, bro, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, keep it cool, bro, keep it cool.
Hey, maybe cops should start using that.
No, I'm saying if the person was on the ledge and you was like, hey, yo, bro, here. I think honestly, look, see, there's certain drugs, and that's the reason
Except
why
for me,
that's the reason
because
why
it made me fight the one time I tried it. But
it could have just been the kind that you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But what I would say is like, you know, what the hell? It's one of those things. All right, it works in the hour and how long you say?
The new one, it can work like an hour and 20 minutes, which is still not immediate.
You know how long it takes for some gas to work?
Like 5 minutes?
All of about 3 minutes.
Oh, wow.
About solid 3 minutes.
I think cops should just keep like a little satchel.
Yeah, once it gets legalized, I guarantee they probably will like negotiators and stuff, like hostage negotiators. Yeah. They'll be walking in there like, yo, keep it cool, hey yo, hold on.
Back away from the ledge.
Hold on, no, I'm talking about like the hostage negotiators. They be in there like, hold on, I know you got 7 niggas in there, but hold on, bro, I got you. Hold on. Take that, and then tell me what you want to do. All right, cool.
Wow, that's crazy.
You be done hit that shit and be like, you know what? Man, fuck it, man. Alright, it's all good, bro. Hey, yo, y'all can go, bro. I don't even know what the fuck I would do.
But he's still gonna go to jail.
Oh, he's up out of here. Now he's up out of here. No, he's up out of here.
Exactly.
But they still good.
Hey, I've got a question. So, like, when it's like really legalized for weed, can people in jail, like, can you like get money on your books to buy weed or something? Like, I don't know how that works.
Well, maybe once it gets completely legalized and it's like something like that, yeah, I guess.
That'd be crazy.
And then everybody in the Bing would be all happy.
And
be like, yo, you know what? Yo, I could just wait. I'm not even, I ain't even gonna cry no more. Like, I'm actually good. Like,
yeah, a lot of people would be like, shit, somebody said that. Ted Bundy said that. He was like, you know what? I get 3 meals. I don't have to worry about raping anybody, about killing anybody. Yeah, like he's like, yo, like
no, I don't mean institutionalized. That's something else. I mean,
that's crazy,
like being there, and because you be crying the whole damn time, and then you be like, hold on, I can get some weed on my canteen. Oh, for real? Oh, that's how y'all feel? Okay, let me get a 3-5 of that goddamn Gorilla Glue, and I'm gonna be straight for like the next week and a half. I ain't even gonna have to worry about none of this shit. I'm good. You feel me? That's what I mean. Like,
that's hilarious. Wow.
Because that would probably happen, but at the same time, I don't know. I think you'd have to. We might have to refer to the other other states or other countries that actually.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, I want to know that. And honestly, I think like security guards, like they're whatever they're called, not security guards, but like I think their job would be a lot better because everybody would just be like so chill.
Right.
They're like, ain't nobody trying to break out. Nobody's trying to have fights.
Right.
Everybody's just like chill in their cells. Like they're just okay, whatever.
And they're chilling, passing blunts like, yo, can I hit that, bro? Out here.
All right, let's talk. Okay, real quick, because we're coming up to the end of like the show. But Wendy Williams, have you ever watched Wendy Williams show?
Oh yeah, of course. I definitely. I mean, shout out to Wendy Williams. I mean,
yeah.
I know she's going through some stuff right now.
Yeah. I mean, she's an icon though, for real. Like she's like Angie Martinez.
She's more like RuPaul, but okay, yeah.
That's true. I always wonder that.
RuPaul's still an icon,
Yeah,
just in a different way.
Yeah, I kind of always wondered that. Anyway, so, Wendy Williams, by the way, who's worth like, I think the last figure was 60 million. Okay. And so she had her talk show, and she had her stroke, and she had she passed out on set, all this stuff. So she took a hiatus, and Nick Cannon was taking her place.
Right.
Okay. And everybody was loving Nick Cannon, like even the staff. They came out publicly saying, in so many words, like, now things are so much fresher. Things are like basically, Wendy, don't come back. Like, we like this.
And they call it, is it still the Wendy Williams show?
Yes.
It's gonna be like, the Nick Cannon Williams.
It was still the Wendy Williams show. And so Nick was doing it, okay, but now she's back. She did her debut, I believe, like this week, anyways. And I hate Wendy.
Don't tell me it was whack.
It is kind of. I mean, she's always stalling. That's the thing that I don't like about her. I'm like, bitch, like, just tell the story. I mean, it's like she's always trying to wonder, like, what her, like, look, did they just give you these stories? I mean, because there's some stories that I have to read because I know that I just did it. But there's other stories that you live and breathe and you studied it. Like, anyways. So, did they tell me to shut up?
No.
Okay.
They called you a boxer, though.
Oh, great. Yes, I know. I wrote that today.
Because when you smoked, you got angry and shit.
Oh.
You hook off on somebody.
Dope. But anyways, so she came back on, and I damn hate her haircut. Like, she was like so glamorous and like all this. Now she got like a box, like it was too much of a drastic change. I don't like the shit.
And then she's already she has a box face already. You can't have.
Yes, it's like short, straight, and like I don't like it.
That ain't gonna work, Wendy.
Exactly. You look crazy, and stop doing your eyes like that. Like, she always like. Like, her eyes are like I just want to shut them for her. Like, can somebody go up there and shut her eyes? But she was like, everybody's like giving her a hard time because they're like, talk about your husband Kevin, because your Kevin beat on you, and he got this mistress. The mistress lived a block down from you, and you're always on the show praising him, and oh, my husband. So her first show back, she did that stuff, and she was like, I'll never leave my husband. You'll never see me leave my husband, blah, blah, blah. Like, she was going in. But they got pictures of her husband doing the stuff. Charlamagne the God from Breakfast Club used to be friends with Wendy Williams. And he came out and was talking about a couple weeks ago saying that her husband is the worst, his exact words, like the most horrible human being for how he treats Wendy. So everybody's like,
oh, because
and they're like, you know what, like, he's controlling, and he's this and he's that, and he tells you what you can say, what you can't say, and everybody's like, you're spilling the tea on everybody else, you need to spill the tea on him.
Right.
People, look at the credits. He's executive director and he's part producer of the show, and come to find out they have an actual agreement that he co-owns 50%. Because remember, they were together. Like, if you look back, they got pictures together when she was like, you would not even recognize her at all. You would not even recognize her. She looked so different. And like, when they were both like, I say that, well, no, let me not be rude. She just looked I'm sorry. She just looked totally different. You know what I'm saying? And her, like, she hadn't had plastic surgery and a boob job and like all this stuff. And he owns 50% of what she is. And so, of course, she's not going to say anything. And there's a written document saying that everything that goes on Wendy Williams' show has to go through him and be pre-approved. Of course, she's not going to spill the tea. She's not going to talk about.
Oh, so basically what they're saying is she can't.
She can't. She's not. No one is. I wish people would stop being so hard on her, because she really can't. But believe me, this woman, she's not dumb. No. She did not make it in through the ranks of this. Like, you know what I'm saying, to be where she's at now for no reason.
The question is, was the whole time was she like,
yes.
Look, I'm never gonna leave him. I'm never gonna leave him.
Like, I want to know how many times she had to practice that.
Like, pay attention to her eyes, because her eyes is really what's telling the story.
Yeah.
They really saying, I'm leaving this nigga tomorrow. He been beating the shit out of me. He actually finna smack me up as soon as I leave him out of here, because, for real, because that's how it should be. So you gotta pay attention to their eyes, yo, for real. Like, their eyes be really telling the real stuff. I ain't never leaving him.
Right, that's what she do.
What you think? And you just talked about she gotta stop doing that with her eyes. She's probably trying to signal your ass. See, that's the thing. She's trying to signal your ass some shit. She's trying to let you know.
I love him.
No, but she's trying to tell you some shit with her eyes. Like, I ain't never leaving.
Can somebody decode that? I need somebody to decode that.
Because it's probably some goddamn braille, not braille, but
SOS.
Yeah, what's the it's the military thing that they used to do.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it right now.
Morse code.
Morse code.
Yeah, that's it.
She's like, I need.
Right. She's like, no, that was just happening overseas.
Yes, for real. That's why she passed out that day, because she was like, I know when I get out this set, he's gonna beat my ass.
Oh shit! I just thought about something. If you go back and look at the YouTube video of her passing out, look at her eyes.
Yes, that's
she might have been using Morse code. She might not have even actually been passing out. It might have actually just been her.
Yes.
Trying to signal y'all.
Yes.
I'm talking about females, women, because there are people who might actually know this type of shit. When she was been falling, you gotta go watch. Like she said, who, ha, and blam. It was over with. So the thing is, she probably was telling y'all. So I promise you, she was probably trying to let y'all know some shit.
I need somebody that knows
She
Morse
was
code.
trying to tell you that she just got hooked off on right before the show. The makeup is covering that damn shit.
She's like,
right now.
fuck, that hurt.
She was like, but I'm just trying to let y'all know. Somebody saved me. Come on, no, sir. I love you, Wendy.
We are not making fun of this, because I've been in like domestically violent situations, so we're not making fun of it. But the thing is like at some point you gotta laugh at it.
Some point you gotta laugh, and some point you gotta actually look between the lines too.
Right.
This is something that it's actually a serious thing, because a lot of women will not come forward with what they're doing. They won't come forward with what's happening. So you have to. I mean, we talked about this several times. Where I thought about, like, sometimes a woman's not going to say anything. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's up to other people to read between the lines.
Yeah.
You feel what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's what I mean by that. It's not about making fun of it. It's really about, it's about, making sure that sometimes people think about that type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that was like, and good point, because then they came out, like recently they've come out with the tattoos. Like, you can get a tattoo right here that shows that you need help. Look, I've been in a situation like that. Let me come home with a tattoo like that on me. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you can get that tattoo when you're out and you're gone, great, but no one's gonna put that on them because they're like, oh, it's a great idea, because then just show it to people and they need help. You think you're gonna hide that from the guy at home that beating your ass every day? No, sir.
I mean, maybe if it's a pen tattoo and you lick it off when you
right
before your
or
ass
like you have to illuminate it.
Yeah, illuminate one or something. Yeah, something where it's like, the tattoo.
Yes.
That's a hard ass tattoo though.
Yeah.
The person who gets the like, you get one where you put a black light on it and that shit glows and you can't see it without the black light. That's super hard.
Exactly. Okay. Well, we're gonna do one more story, because I had a bunch more, but as we're coming to a close, so let's talk about man, I forgot where this was at, but anyways, this bus driver. Did you hear about this story? I forgot where this was. But this, I think it was a dude, but he's a bus driver, school bus driver. I don't know if it was like elementary school or middle school, but he went off. He cussed everybody out, like cussed everybody completely out. He was like, F you guys, la 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 la. Put the school bus in park and left everybody. Walked off the bus and left. Like, I don't know, what if you were a school bus driver? Like, you think you cuss some kids out? Do you think it would get to that point? I can answer for myself. I know I would. I'm sorry. I love your kids. I love my kids. But a school bus driver, God, I don't know. I don't know. That's hard. Kids on the bus are bad. Like, I got into a lot of fights on the bus.
I actually got into one of the biggest fights I ever gotten on the school bus. And they drove us, look, the bus driver drove my ass straight to the police station. He didn't go nowhere else. He was like, fuck going to school. Your ass is going to the police. He drove us straight to the
Oh, dang. My bus driver let me out. We lived in the country and he let my ass out. But he took you to the police station?
Yes. We went straight, because instead of going to the school, he drove us to the goddamn parking lot of the police station, and then the police came and got us all to that. It was some bullshit,
wow.
But yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, they let me off in like nowhere, like Cornland in Iowa. Let me off because I like beat somebody with a pop bottle that was on the bus. Like I was like rolling around, and it was just like an opportune time for me to like knock the shit out of them. And they let me out, and I would come walking home from school like, okay, I'm not on the bus. Like you can see I'm sweating. Like I just walked 3 miles home, and my dad's like, hey Pumpkin, how are you? How's your day, sweet Pumpkin?
Right.
I just beat the shit out of them. Anyways, that's it. I mean, I had some more good stories, but it's getting too late.
Right, man. So everybody who's on the live right now, yeah, we rocking with you just like you rocking with us. So go ahead and check in. We want to see who's still in here, who's still rocking with us. If you're on the Instagram live, go to the YouTube right there now. Check in and let us know that you've been there and rocking with us, because I seen there was a few people on there, but I mean at the end of the day, I ain't going over there to look at that shit.
Right.
So come to the YouTube/WealthyAirRadio. Oh yeah, and go ahead and hit the subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, we need like 60 more of y'all niggas to subscribe. Just subscribe, goddamn, subscribe to the goddamn shit, bro. Mm-hmm. Hit the subscribe button, and then also hit the like button if you fuck with the damn shit. If you fuck with us on Lit Life, and you fuck with us how we do on Drop It and Stop It, man, and how we fuck with y'all, go ahead and hit the like button too. If you wasn't fucking with it and you couldn't stand the politics and shit, hit dislike. I don't care. It don't matter. But at the end of the day, let us know, man. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us. Yeah. Everybody, Shamika, Clipper, JBM Nova, Angel, Humble, you know what I'm saying, Kilo, Chronic. I seen you over there.
Angel.
Yeah, absolutely. Don Trail. Everybody who's rocking with us, you know what I'm saying? Look, like I said, go and send your music right now, and in the email, make sure you put in the subject line that I watched and participated in Lit Life, especially the callers who called in tonight. We appreciate you guys. You know what we're going to do tomorrow, 9 p.m. is Drop It or Stop It. It's not going to be so lit as it was last month.
It was lit.
It was like 800 niggas up here last week. But tomorrow it's still gonna be fun though. So but look, like I said, May the 3rd, if you can come to Atlanta, or if you're in Atlanta, make sure your ass come down here, because we finna have the first Drop It or Stop It showcase, and we finna have Mickey's birthday celebration. So you have to come if you like Mickey. If you fucks with Mickey,
even if you hate me, just come.
Even if you hate her, even if you know what I'm saying, like Timekeeper. Every time your ass get on here, Timekeeper, I see your ass talk about some Mickey. Come celebrate Mickey.
And the whole rest of the cast will be there too.
Right, all of us will be, all of us will be there. But make sure you come and celebrate Mickey, because we got to give her her best first birthday party and stuff. You feel me? Yeah. And it is what it is, man. But absolutely, man. We gonna rock with you tomorrow. So like I said, send your music tonight, and we gonna get with you tomorrow. And we appreciate you, man. Yes. Everybody who's been rocking with us, man, and Drop It and Stop It legends, you already know what time it is. Shout out to all you guys. You can follow me right damn now. My Instagram is I am True Wealth. I am TRU Wealth. Not the nigga with the E. That nigga ain't me. Go ahead and follow Mickey S right now. Her Instagram is Mickey's Vision. All one word.
Yep.
You feel me? Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, rock with us, man. We appreciate y'all. And shit, what you want us to leave you with? That project bit? Don't tell me that goddamn. Nah, I ain't playing the project bit, man.
Why?
Cause y'all killing the project bit.
Did you say that we had a Wealthy Ear song?
Actually, like that is actually. You know what? That is what I want to do.
Okay.
Hold on. Shout out to the boy Kilo.
Hey, Kilo.
Shout out to the boy Kilo, man. Let me see if I can pull up this email real quick, because he did send.
Because I haven't heard it. Like, I'm so excited.
I haven't even pulled it up either. So I seen that he sent it, but I was like doing so many other things that I was like, okay. So.
And thank you for taking the challenge to like send us something. Like, we really appreciate that, because we've been talking about it for a couple of months and no one has stepped up to the challenge. I guess everybody's scared.
Right. Oh, they scared. They big scared.
All right, if they weren't scared, they would have sent some.
So this is by Kilo Beats, man. This is the Lit Life theme song. that he's proposing for us to do.
Oh.
So I want to know what you guys think of this joint right here. Do you guys think this should be our new theme song? If it's fire enough, I haven't heard it yet. This is gonna be my first time, my ears hearing it. Mickey's first time hearing it. Let us know what you guys think though. It's not drop it or stop it, but we still want to know what you think.
Yeah.
For real. So this is the Lit Life theme song by the boy Kilo Beats.
Yeah, nigga. Lit life shit, nigga. For real. What my life like, that shit lit right. What my band like, that shit lit right. What my drip like, that shit lit right. It's that lit life.
Oh.
It's that lit life.
Hey.
What my life like,
Oh.
that shit lit right.
Oh yeah.
What my band
That's
like,
it.
Gone.
that shit lit right.
Gone.
What my drip like,
Woo.
that shit lit right.
Gone.
It's that lit life. It's that lit life. What my life like, that shit lit right. What my bitch
Oh,
like,
shit.
hit that air right. If you really trap, let it cook right. If you really about that smoking, what your shooters like. If you playing game, what your set like. If you get money, it won't be the life. All blue V, ain't no one in sight. You don't let it be. Leave my bed like. I
Hey.
ain't going back and forth for these hoes. We tryna play before. We going straight to the basket on niggas. We only picking rolls. I like this lit nigga, this lit like shit. I like this lit nigga, this lit like shit. What my life like?
Hey.
That shit lit
That's
right.
it.
Hey.
Bad like. That
Hey.
shit lit right.
Hey.
Drip like.
Hey, you talking about, boy? Yeah, that's it, bro.
That's it. That's it.
That's
the
that
Lit
lit life, man.
The beat
Shout
on
out.
that, like I like honestly, that is our personalities in that song for real.
Mm-hmm.
I love that song.
Hell yeah, man. Kilo Beats, man. Look, follow my boy Kilo Beats, KEILOWBEATS, man. Follow that boy Kilo Beats. Yeah, man. Lit life, man. I like that shit.
That's it.
I think that might be it, though.
I know.
I thought, yo,
I
my
love
mind,
that.
like, ooh, that lit, like, ooh, yo, come on, man.
I love
That's
that.
what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Like get you excited.
Bro, I
and
appreciate
pumped
you, man. I appreciate you. And
So-
look, I'm finna go through them beats. I see them beats. Yeah, I see them. I'm finna go through them. I'm finna, look, right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Thank
got you,
you,
man,
Kilo. Love that.
Shout out to that boy Kilo Beats, man. We got you, man. Tomorrow, make sure you send the new music. I want to hear some new beats from all y'all. Want to hear some new shit, man. I got you, man. I fuck with you, man.
For real.
Hell yeah.
What my life like? That shit lit right. What my band like? That shit lit right. What my drip like? That shit lit right. It's that lit life. It's that